Gender-neutral bathrooms or washrooms or toilets, whatever you want to call them, they've been appearing for the last couple of years. And I confess, the first time I saw one, I had no idea what it was. I was at a gig at some student union, and across the back wall of the venue were the entrances to the toilets. And I recognised the usual silhouette symbols, ladies and gents, and then on the end, there's a combination of the two. Although I suspect before too long, someone will complain about that. Some fucking lunatic who identifies as a cactus will say it isn't inclusive enough. But I was looking at this symbol on the door, wondering, well, what's that about then? And the door opened and this androgynous mess just walked out. You know, one of those things you've got no idea if it's male or female. And it dawned on me, oh, that's what that's for. In fact, above toilets now, you need signs that say men, women and miscellaneous. If not miscellaneous, then just two letters. FK. Men, women, fuck knows. But in saying that, I think gender-neutral bathrooms are a good idea, because you'll get some people in the trans community may not be comfortable with using one or the other. For the gender non-binary crowd, it's one less thing for them to fucking moan about. And I think for some women, it'll help them feel safer, because a couple of years ago, Mrs. Disgruntled and I and a few of our friends were away at a 60s themed weekend. And at the venue we were at, well, they weren't trans women, these were just good old-fashioned cross-dressers. Two blokes with physiques that suggest they work as bricklayers for a living. Nothing feminine about them at all. They come wandering towards us in their flowery dresses and beehive wigs. Do you remember Little Britain? I'm a lady. If you tried to make that sketch now, you'd be fucking crucified. But these two fellas, female impersonators, Barry and Keith, they walked past us and into the ladies' toilets, and a couple of moments later, a woman walked out and she looked a bit flustered. Now, I'm not suggesting anything untoward went on there, but I expect if you're a woman and you go to use the facilities, you don't expect to open your cubicle door to Priscilla, Queen of the fucking Desert. But gender-neutral bathrooms have been in the news because a storm kicked up on Twitter after an American woman said she'd used a gender-neutral bathroom and she felt uncomfortable and violated. The problem is, though, her version of events doesn't really stack up. She said she'd been using a gender-neutral bathroom, she'd washed her hands and was about to leave when the door opened and there were two men there. And one of the men walked in and began urinating. And she said she felt violated. And a lot of people were quick to point out she chose to use a gender-neutral bathroom. Her response was, he could have been a bad guy, she could have been raped or assaulted. Now for me, it sounds like there's a bloke who really needs a piss, so he's gone into a bathroom and had a fucking piss. What no one seems to have picked up on here, excuse me, is that two men have arrived at a public toilet together. She's in no danger whatsoever. But then her version of events starts to fall apart, because people asked, do you mean there was a urinal in a gender-neutral bathroom? And she said no, there was an open toilet. So people asked, well, why didn't you just lock the door if you didn't want people to come in? And she said there wasn't a lock on it. Now, I'm calling bullshit here because I don't know much about American building regs, but I know enough that if you've got a restroom and the toilet is exposed, there has to be a lock on the door, because that's intended for one person at a time. If there isn't a lock on the door, the toilet would have a cubicle round it. And if her version of events is to be believed, I mean, she's been in this washroom, sat on the toilet, pissing and shitting away merrily, safe in the knowledge that door could be opened at any fucking moment. And then she made things worse for herself, because she said, I'm humble enough to share a bathroom with white women. Now, this lady's black. That should make no fucking difference whatsoever to this story, except she then started talking about how her grandmother had to use segregated bathrooms. But by saying, I'm humble enough to share a bathroom with people of a different skin colour, it sounds like she's come out of her ivory fucking tower to do us all a favour, or like she's in favour of fucking segregation. Now, they had racial segregation for years in America. We all know that, and we all know it didn't work out very well for black people. If she does want segregation with the current administration in the White House, there's a fair chance she should get it. But she's then gone on to complain, oh, I'm humble enough to share a bathroom with white women, I'm expected to share it with men as well now. No, you stupid fucking bitch! If you don't want to share a bathroom with men, use the fucking ladies! The gender neutral one is there for everyone to use. That's the fucking point of it! I'm surprised she even needs to go to the toilet. Her arsehole must get jealous of all the shit that comes out of her mouth.